Hey all, welcome to the Kayos One Windows 10 installation video. For today's installation we're going to be focusing on a model 7040, but this is also applicable to other Intel based models that support Windows 10. To get started here we're going to need a loaner PC. So we have a freshly installed virtual machine here we've set up just to create our USB flash disk. And now once I've confirmed I'm connected to the internet, we're going to go ahead and launch a browser of choice. In this case, I'm going to go to Microsoft Edge and browse out to the Create Installation Media for Windows link that we have in the description. Once there, I'm going to click down to Create Windows 10 Installation Media, Download Now, and I should see the Media Creation tool begin to download. Now this will prompt me for elevated permissions. Once I click Yes, the tool will start preparing. Please note, at this time we want to identify a USB drive of size 8 gig or larger. Anything that is currently on that USB disk will be erased as part of this process. And now we will just wait for the tool to prepare. Once prompted, you'll need to accept the license agreement. And then once again, the tool will resume prepping for the installation. Alright, now we're going to select the option to create installation media and click Next. At this point, we want to verify our language and edition options, and then we're going to select USB flash drive. Now we've got our USB flash drive that we've prepped here. We're going to go ahead and insert it into the system. Should see it prompt. If you've inserted during the tool, you'll need to refresh and then select ensure you have the correct flash drive, as this will override everything on it. And then at this point, we're going to go ahead and download Windows 10. Now once the download and verification is complete, it will jump right into creating the Windows 10 media. And that is all. Your flash drive is ready. We can now safely remove it from this system. It'll clean up some files afterwards, and we can take that flash drive and move on over to our new installation PC. Alright, now switching gears here, we're over on the 7040 model, and I've inserted the USB boot disk that we just created in the previous step. First thing we're going to do is check some settings in the BIOS to make sure everything's going to install smoothly and we have optimal performance. So to do that, I'm going to start the system up and I'm going to rapidly press the F2 key to get into our BIOS. Should look like this. And from here, we're going to start by updating the boot sequence. We're going to select boot sequence under General and ensure that we have UEFI selected. This is required for our installation here. Should also see the UEFI disk that we had created previously up above. Next up, we're going to go down to the security section and we're going to select UEFI capsule firmware updates. This will allow Windows Update to make sure our firmware is the latest available. So we'll enable that. Then we'll go down to TPM 1.2 and ensure that TPM is on and enabled for the system. The final section we're going to take a look at here is for performance. We're going to start with multi-core support. We'll select that and ensure that we're set to all. Following that, we'll go down to Intel Speed Step and ensure that is enabled. We'll go down to C-State Controls and ensure that is enabled. We will go down to Limit CPU ID Value and ensure that is unchecked. And then we'll go down to Intel Turbo Boost and ensure that is enabled. And finally, we're going to take a look at Hyperthread and ensure that is enabled. That will give us all 8 threads of performance for our installation. And from there, go ahead and update any other BIOS settings you feel are appropriate for your install here. Then we're going to go ahead and click on Apply, and then select OK. Once that's saved, we can go ahead and exit out of the BIOS tool. Alright, the next step we're going to need to do here is to boot into our boot menu and select our USB disk. So to do that, we're going to rapidly press the F12 key as the system boots. Now if you don't get it for the first time, just go ahead and reset the system and try again until you see the menu that is on the screen here. We're going to go ahead and go down to UEFI boot and select our USB flash drive that we created previously, and then we're going to press any key to boot. Now once we get into the setup menu, we're going to go ahead and select our languages and click next. And then we're going to select install now. We will then see the setup process start. Now once prompted, we'll need to review the licensing term and agreements and accept. And then we're going to select custom installation. Now from here we'll want to browse to our unallocated space. Now if you already have an operating system installed on this system, this area may have an existing partition table that you'll need to remove before proceeding. But in this case we do not have an active partition available, so we can simply select drive 0, ensure the file size is what you're expecting. In this case we're installing on a 512 gig disk, and then we're going to go ahead and click next. Once that section completes, you'll be prompted to restart the system. You can either click restart now or wait the 10 seconds and it will restart itself. And we're now ready to complete the Windows 10 setup. Now for my installation here, I've intentionally disconnected my Ethernet cable and I am not connecting to a wireless network. This makes the process for setting up a local offline only account a little bit simpler. However, if you'd like to leverage Microsoft account services, please ensure you connect an Ethernet cable and or connect to wireless to complete the setup wizard successfully. And that concludes the Windows 10 installation. At this point, I would recommend running a Windows update to ensure all drivers are up to date, and use manufacturer direct drivers for any video cards such as AMD.com, NVIDIA.com, or Intel.com. A full written guide will be linked to in the description below. Please leave any questions in the comments, and happy gaming!